everybody. As you can see, I'm doing things a little bit different today, and probably here on out, the lessons are the same, of course, but I'm just got a different backdrop because I'm doing these on the road a lot of times now, so it'll be shot a little differently. And we're going to start with the Suit of Wands this time. And something I just want to quickly mention before we get on to the Ace of Wands, and that is if you're not pulling your tarot cards every day, you should be. This is what the work means, is you should be watching the videos every day and you should be pulling tarots every day. And if you're not going to get good at this, right? So spend every day, even if it's just 15 minutes a day, throw on the 15-minute video and pull cards. It really is the only way to get good at this energy tool. So this is Zeus in the Ace of Wands, all right? And he holds the world globe in his hand. He also has the golden fleece, which is his fleece that he wears over his shoulder. We see that. He holds the great wand with flames in his left hand, right? And we see the snow-capped landscape over him. And of course, he's in purple, which tells you he's very powerful. And he really does hold the world in his hands. He is Zeus, and he is the king of all the gods, okay? And he is the beginning of the Suit of Wands to tell us that he represents a very ancient and potent god. And he represents also a vulnerability, because as much as he holds the world in his hands, he's this great creator of the world. He sees all the chaos in it, and sometimes he doesn't feel like he's doing what is necessary to keep this world working properly, right? So when you see Zeus in the Ace of Wands and not as the Emperor, in the Emperor we saw the father, the stoic, mature, wise man. And what we see here, we see Zeus as a vulnerable man, as the one that has all this creative potential. And in the Ace of Wands, we see him a little bit frustrated. He's looking at what haven't I done? What do I need to do? Instead of all that he has created. He has created this beautiful world, but he's in the Ace of Wands. He's starting out this emotional journey. He's got the itch to create something completely different. So he's really looking at the earth in an emotional frame of mind and thinking, what can I do better? But he has to also recognize what he's also done. So this is what we see, the double side of the Ace of Wands. All right. This is telling the person that's getting the reading that there is this creative potential bubbling up inside them. If you get the Ace of Wands in a spread, you want to tell the person, you can feel that they're needing to move, that they're needing to do something different in their life, that they may feel unsure of what that looks like, but they're really getting restless. That's really a good word for when someone gets the Ace of Wands. You can say to them, you're really restless right now. You have changes to make. So this is the potential card. This is where you bring all your emotions and all your creativity and all your original thought and think, I need to move. You might not know which direction or what to do, but it's the stirrings. It's the beginning of a new creative path. Okay, so you're going to have energy, yet you won't really know what you're formulating. You won't have a goal at this time. You'll just know, I got to move, or I got to switch careers, or I got to leave my marriage, or I've got to be alone, or I've got to go on a walkabout. This is kind of the Ace of Wands card, is you know something needs to change. You're just not sure what the end result is. It's a restlessness and a dissatisfaction with the present situation, right? So as much as I love aces because they are the beginning of something great, they are also the ending of something and the frustration of being stuck in something you no longer want to be stuck on, right? So this is what we get with Zeus in the Ace of Wands. We're going to go from here to the Two of Wands. And when we get to the Two of Wands, we meet Jason of the Argonauts. And he's standing outside of Chiron's cave. Remember Chiron from the Hierophant card in the Major Arcana? The healer that could never heal himself? Well, this is where Jason finds himself standing out front of. He has just learnt that he is the real heir to the throne of Iliokos. All right, and his father has been disposed of and imprisoned by his wicked uncle. So this is what he's come to know in Chiron's cave. And so he has this feeling of potential in this card, right? He's wondering, what do I do? This is the Two of Wands. You have an idea now of what is going on, where in the Ace of Wands, what you saw was a restlessness, a potential, a need for change. Where we get to the two, we now have an idea of what is ahead of us. So Jason, in this Two of Wands, he has no idea what he's going to do about the information that Chiron has just delivered to him about his uncle and his father. But he knows something has to be done. And in the Suit of Wands, we are going to go through that journey with Jason. From the Ace of where Zeus is introducing Jason and the Argonauts through the creative potential, the restlessness, the beginning original thought, to the two where he now has an idea of what and where he needs to be, but that's as far as he's gone. So when you do see this in a reading, it is when you could say to your client, you have a new idea, you have a new goal or a creative project, but you may not really know how to go about it, or what shape it's going to take, or what the full potential of it can be. And that brings us to the Three of Wands. And here is where we see Jason, and he is standing at the city of Iliokos. And this is his uncle, King Peleus. He's offering Jason the crown in which he stole. He's on his knees asking to be forgiven. Now he's been caught. And you see the three flaming wands in Jason's hand. And those three wands, like all other threes in the minor arcana, they represent a stage of initial completion. In the cups, we saw when Psyche and Eros got together at the three, right? It was the initial love and lust, but there was a journey to go on. Well, this is what we see in this three of the Three of Wands. It's a cause for celebration because he made it to confront his uncle. You might also notice that he's only wearing one sandal, and that's because he lost one when he crossed the river. Okay, there was a journey that he went on to get to the island to seek out his uncle. And that is a representation that it wasn't easy to get there. So what you see here in the three is the completion of the original restlessness into, oh, this is what I want, the goal, and this is kind of the original completion of I've made it. But this isn't where Jason's story ends. Celebration is premature. You can take a little rest in the Three of Wands, right? We do know that good foundations have been laid, and it implies an initial stage of completion, but in the three you also know there was so much more to come. And in this card, his uncle has something else up his sleeve. He looks like he's simply handing over the crown, but with that, he tells Jason he cannot really be the king of Iliokos unless he recaptures the golden fleece of Zeus's from the dragon. Okay, so of course, his uncle is hoping that he is killed while trying to do that. So now that Jason has come to the island, recaptured his crown, this isn't all that lies ahead. To be a true king, he must return the golden fleece to Zeus. So when you see the Three of Wands in a spread, you'll tell your client, enjoy where you're at, enjoy the initial successes, understand that you deserve where you've come from and what you've gotten, but also advise them to look forward. The journey has just begun. And that leads us to the Four of Wands. In the Four of Wands, you see Jason with a ship behind him. And this ship is called the Argo. And basically, him and those shipmates that stand with him on the beach built this ship to take them to Colchis to find the golden fleece that he is going to bring back to Zeus to prove his worthiness. And if you see in the shipmates, if you look there, you'll see Hercules with his lion's mane draped across his shoulder. We met him in the card of strength. Remember, he had those tasks to complete. And then we also see Theseus there. And he's the one with the crown, and he is the king of Athens. We will not meet him until the King of Wands. Okay? And then we see the twins, Castor and Polydeuces, the warrior twins. And we'll meet them in the Knight of Swords. And they're both in their silver armor. And they're all bearing flaming wands. So we see the 4 wands in this card. And of course, we see Orpheus, the singer. Remember, we met him in the King of Cups? He's clad in the blue robe and he's holding his lyre because he came along for the journey to sing all Jason's troubles away. This is also a celebration card, just like the 3. In the 3, we saw the task accomplished, and in the 4, we see this celebration with Jason and his shipmates and the ship behind them to say, look, we have done it. We have built it. We have met the challenge. We have created a new journey, and we have harvested the rewards, right? They're all together. They're ready for their journey. And so this is a really nice card when you see it in a spread, right? Because it shows the solid foundation one has built to continue the journey they're on. So when you see the 4 of Wands come into a reading for someone, you'll tell them this is a time of rewards for their efforts and that their creative ideas have yielded some early fruit, right? They've got some of the rewards, and you have a right to celebrate and you have a right to believe in these concrete results. But there is always that but when you're in the early stages of any suit, the 1 through 4, right? The early beginnings. It's just early on the journey. There are more things to face, to sail through, and the hardest challenges are yet to come. And that will lead us to the 5 of Wands, which we will do in the next lesson. And like always, like, subscribe, and share. And you can follow me on Facebook at Kimberly Dawn Empath, or join my Facebook group, All Things Afterlife. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon with the next lesson.